Provident as adjective. Acting with foresight and preparation for future needs or emergencies. Wisely planning for the future and making provisions for one's needs. Her provident savings allowed her to retire early. The businessman's provident investments ensured his financial stability. He always takes a provident approach to spending, saving for the future. The provident policies of the government help to secure the financial future of its citizens. The company's provident fund provides retirement benefits for its employees. Tout as noun. A person who promotes or advertises something in an aggressive or persistent manner. A person who solicits business or customers, especially in a brazen or annoying way. The street vendor was a tout who wouldn't leave us alone. He worked as a tout for a travel agency. The club was filled with touts trying to sell tickets. The touts outside the stadium were selling counterfeit merchandise. The tout tried to convince us to buy a timeshare. Flux as verb. To flow continuously or change constantly. To melt or fuse, especially in metallurgy. The company is in the process of fluxing its marketing strategy to better target younger consumers. The river's water levels flux throughout the year due to changes in rainfall and snowmelt. The prices of stocks are constantly fluxing based on market conditions and investor behavior. The artist's creative process often involves fluxing between different styles and mediums. The software program fluxes its output based on user input and data analysis. Erratic as adjective. Inconsistent, irregular, or unpredictable in behavior or quality. Not following a consistent or predictable pattern. The stock market has been quite erratic lately, with prices going up and down unpredictably. Her behavior became increasingly erratic after the death of her husband. The airline apologized for the flight delay caused by an erratic weather pattern. The musician's erratic style and unconventional compositions made him a cult figure. The car's engine started making an erratic noise, indicating a potential problem. Scintillating as adjective. Brilliantly lively, stimulating, or entertaining, often referring to conversation, performance, or wit. Sparkling or shining brightly with flashes of light. The fireworks display was scintillating, lighting up the night sky with vibrant colors and patterns. The conversation at the dinner table was scintillating, filled with witty remarks and engaging discussions. The actress gave a scintillating performance, captivating the audience with her talent and stage presence. The diamond necklace shimmered with scintillating brilliance under the lights. The scintillating humor in the comedian's jokes had the entire audience laughing uncontrollably. Denigrate as verb. Depreciate or diminish the value of something. Speak badly or insult someone or something. Blacken or tarnish reputation. He denigrated his opponent's reputation during the campaign. The critic denigrated the artist's latest work in his review. She felt denigrated by her boss's harsh criticism. The company's competitors denigrated their products in order to gain an advantage. The social media post denigrated an entire group of people based on their ethnicity. Hackneyed as adjective. Dull and boring due to being overused. Lacking in originality. Overused and trite. His hackneyed jokes were met with groans rather than laughter. The writer's use of cliches and hackneyed phrases made the story feel stale and unoriginal. The speech was filled with hackneyed platitudes and lacked any real substance. The movie relied on hackneyed plot devices and failed to offer anything new or interesting. Despite the director's attempts to inject some freshness into the play, the production felt hackneyed and uninspired. Quisling as noun. A person who betrays their country by collaborating with an enemy, often for personal gain or to retain power. A traitor or collaborator, especially someone who cooperates with an enemy occupying force against their own country or group. The term traitor was often used to describe the quisling during wartime. History books remember him as a notorious quisling who collaborated with the enemy. He was branded a quisling for his betrayal of his own country. The public viewed her as a quisling after her controversial actions. His actions were seen as those of a quisling, abandoning his principles for personal gain.
Appurtenant as adjective, associated with or necessary for the use or enjoyment of another property, belonging or pertaining as a necessary adjunct or concomitant. The appurtenant garage came with the purchase of the house. The easement was appurtenant to the neighboring property and allowed for access to the driveway. The landlord provided appurtenant storage space for the tenant's use. The appurtenant rights to the land included access to the river for fishing. The swimming pool was an appurtenant feature of the hotel. Percipient as adjective, capable of observing, noticing, or comprehending something, having the ability to perceive or become aware of something through the senses or intuition. The artist was known for his percipient eye and ability to capture the essence of his subjects. As a percipient critic, she was able to discern the strengths and weaknesses of the novel. His percipient understanding of human nature made him a skilled psychologist. The film's percipient screenplay accurately portrayed the complexities of the characters' relationships. Her percipient observation skills allowed her to quickly identify the problem and find a solution.
Placate as verb. To calm or assuage someone's anger or anxiety by offering reassurance, concessions, or other forms of compensation. To soothe or pacify someone who is upset or angry in order to reduce or eliminate their anger or hostility. The manager tried to placate the angry customer with a refund. The mother tried to placate her crying baby with a toy. The diplomat attempted to placate the tension between the two nations with a peace agreement. The coach tried to placate his players after a tough loss. The employee tried to placate his boss with an apology. Precarious is adjective. Posed to fall or collapse, often due to a lack of balance or stability. Unstable or uncertain, often due to a lack of security or support. The climber found himself in a precarious position on the side of the mountain. The company's financial situation was precarious due to declining sales and rising costs. The house of cards stood in a precarious balance, ready to collapse with the slightest movement. The patient's health was precarious after a complicated surgery. The peace agreement was in a precarious state, with tensions between the two sides still high. Overweening as adjective. Arrogant or conceited. Excessive in behavior or self-esteem. His overweening pride was his downfall. The company's overweening ambition led to its downfall. The politician's overweening arrogance cost him the election. The artist's overweening ego made it difficult to work with him. The athlete's overweening confidence made her a formidable opponent. Ephemeral is adjective. Lasting only a short time. Transitory. Short-lived or transitory in nature. The beauty of a sunset is often described as ephemeral, as it lasts for only a brief moment. Fashion trends are notoriously ephemeral, coming and going with the seasons. The lifespan of some species of butterflies is so short that they can be considered ephemeral. Social media posts are typically ephemeral and may disappear after a short time. The snowfall is ephemeral in this part of the country, melting quickly due to the warm climate. Verb, to compete or contend with someone, often with the aim of achieving superiority or mastery. To strive or struggle to attain something, often through competition with others. The two companies are vying for the same market share. The musicians are vying for a chance to perform at the music festival. The students are vying for the top grades in the class. The contestants are vying for the grand prize in the cooking competition. The political candidates are vying for the support of the voters in the upcoming election. Ingratiate as verb, to endear oneself to someone, especially by flattering or doing favors. To gain favor or approval by behaving in a pleasing or obliging way. He tried to ingratiate himself with the boss by constantly complimenting her work. The politician attempted to ingratiate himself with the voters by promising tax cuts. The student tried to ingratiate herself with the teacher by staying after class to ask questions. The new employee brought in donuts on the first day to ingratiate herself with her coworkers. The company offered free samples to try to ingratiate its new product with consumers. Diabolical as adjective, deliberately cruel or harmful, extremely evil or wicked. The plan was so diabolical that no one saw it coming. The diabolical plot to overthrow the government was uncovered just in time. The villain in the movie was so diabolical that even the audience was afraid of him. The game was designed to be diabolically difficult, frustrating even the most experienced players. The consequences of the diabolical scheme would be catastrophic for the entire world. Savvy is noun. Knowledge, know-how, or expertise, especially regarding a particular field or subject. Practical understanding, intelligence, or shrewdness, especially in relation to practical matters or common sense. His savvy in business made him a sought-after advisor. She demonstrated remarkable marketing savvy throughout her career. The politician's political savvy helped him navigate complex negotiations. Her tech savvy allowed her to troubleshoot most computer issues. His financial savvy was evident in the successful investments he made. Obscure as verb, to hide or conceal something, to make something difficult to see or understand. The criminal attempted to obscure his identity by wearing a disguise. The thick fog obscured the driver's vision, causing them to slow down. The company tried to obscure their unethical practices by providing misleading information. The photographer used a filter to obscure the subject's features and create a mysterious effect. The author deliberately obscured certain details in the novel to create suspense. Dilapidated as adjective, in a state of disrepair, often as a result of neglect or age, worn out, damaged, or fallen into ruin. The dilapidated old house was in desperate need of repair. The abandoned factory was dilapidated and dangerous, with broken windows and collapsing walls. The streets in the neglected neighborhood were lined with dilapidated buildings and overgrown weeds. The once grand hotel had become dilapidated over the years, with peeling paint and rusty fixtures. The dilapidated car barely made it to the end of the street, sputtering and smoking along the way. Ready to boost your English or ace the GRE? Meet the GRE Vocabulary app, a fun and effective way to master language. Learn advanced words with examples and audio. Master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Customize your practice by difficulty or focus. Translate into 100+ languages with ease. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.